Hey, what's going on? It's Charlie Hustle, hanging out at my home studio, Hustle Shoals. Um, Today I am starting a new project. It's like the first day that I'm starting. Obviously, I've talked about it with who I'm doing the project with, but today's like the first day that I'm gonna sit down at a computer and actually start doing a little pre-planning, pre-production type stuff. Where I usually start is in like the drum world, but let me tell you about what I'm working on first. Uh, there's this guy Drew Boogie. If you've heard some of my songs, you may have come across some Drew Boogie stuff. He's a dope guy, man. I met him when I was in New York. He's from the Bronx. He was in the military. He was in the army for a bunch of years. Did a couple tours, and now he's kind of at the point. He's out of the military, and he started his own Facebook page called Combat Veterans, and that's sort of picking up some steam. And he makes like videos and puts up content that's mostly humorous. Sometimes he does some serious stuff, and I think it's really cool. It's like I think it's really helping people. People are really attracted to it, and so anyway, I was talking to Drew the other day, and I was like, you know what, man, we should make an EP. We should get back to making music, and he was totally down. And I think that I think Drew's got a lot of cool stuff to say, and I think music is an awesome platform for saying things. Obviously, naturally, that's where I like to go. So it's like, dude, let's do this EP, and I think what Drew has to say will resonate with a lot of people, obviously, and especially in the sort of military communities and circles. And I think it's important. I think it's cool. I think it's something that's gonna be helpful for a lot of people, and helpful for Drew, to do it. So basically, my role, as I'm not, really, this one's very Drew, and I'm not trying to be a poser or anything like that. So basically, my role is just to like help Drew musically get that message out. So basically, with that in mind, knowing that Drew's going to be talking about things he's going through and experiencing in life based on his military experience. So it's going to have that tone about it. It's going to have that direction about it. The music is. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm sitting down. This is what I do before every project. I sit down and I sort of build templates or palettes to pull from. It's not in stone or anything like that. I like to just have a place to start from. So what I'll do most of the time is I'll start a new session in Pro Tools, and I have my little template that I start with, and create my. This is always exciting to me. It's like a fresh notebook. I get to create my little Drew folder in the Hustle Standard folder. Not everybody gets a Hustle Standard folder, and oh man, here we go. So I'll just call this one pre-production. And usually I start with drums. I like to get that vibe down first. So let's see. Pull up my favorite drum sampler, Battery 4. Oh, I just upgraded. I was on Battery 3 for a long time. So here we have it, Battery 4. So usually what I'll do is I like to lay things out on here, and I'll go to kick sounds and just start seeing what I have, what I want. Now, in my mind, I know where we're going. It's gonna be hip hop, So the drums have to hit, but at the same time, I don't think the drums can be too big because I don't want them to take up too much space. I want Drew's voice to be heard, So I don't want all these elements taking up all the space. So, I'll go and just start running through running through libraries. It's really probably boring to watch. But this is my process and I love it. I love it. So, you know, and I just start in a random place and start listening to drum sounds. So, let's see. You know, start there. Boom. Kick. That's one. You know, I don't know. Do we like it? Do we not? You know, so I'll run through them. And, and the thing is like, I'm not looking for too much personality in the kicks right now. Like, I'm just looking for like my meat and potatoes sounds. I'll add the personality later. This is just so I can get started and get the meat and potatoes down. Like, that's dope, right? But it's too much. It's too much sound. Like, what do I want? Do I want clicky kicks? Do I want, like, this one's got a little, it's definitely a sample. It's got some hi-hat in it. Do I want more clean 808 sounding kicks? You know, do I want compressed in your face kicks? I don't know. I really don't know this moment. Like, I like that. To me, I like a kick that hits you in your chest. I like that. Sometimes I'll even, I already have it pre-programmed. I have them up here. So that's cool. I'll just move on to another one now. Keep that one there. Get a new sample going. What number was that? 13. So this one will be, maybe I'll move it up. There it is, it's already programmed in. Boom, 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 boom. Damn, I don't know if you can hear that's rattling my doors back there. Oh, I like that. Like that. Yeah, I want it. Because it's like, I think, you know, we haven't written anything for it yet, but I think Drew's going to be like, you know, it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be personal. It might even be kind of dark at times, you know, because I don't know. I didn't go through it, but I want it to be real. I'll tell you that much. And like, yeah, I like that. So like, I'll do that, right? And then I'll go through, and I'm not done with that, but I'll go through and I'll go find some snare drums and start looking at those. And you know, and I'm also keeping in mind, like, I sort of try to stay a little bit relevant, you know, even though like most of what I do doesn't really might not sound like I'm trying to stay relevant. But you know, I try to use like trap sounds and things like that to try and tie it all together to like what's happening now, so it's not just this weird out in left field thing. But so it's kind of fun. But it's, I mean, I don't know what it sounds like on there, but out here it's a little, it's not quite right. It's a little cheesy sounding, but you know, so we'll just keep going through sounds. So that's kind of a cool military-esque sort of. Could be cool. We'll leave it. Put another one in. See what it is. Bad sample. What was that? It's just about what inspires me. Sometimes it's too loud. You'll think it's dope, and then turn it. You come back to it later, and you're like, all these sounds are so thin and cheesy. See, now I don't like the first kick. But love that though. So then I'll go back and I'll replace the first kick, and I'll just keep going until I have like 8 kicks, 8 snares, a couple hi-hats. Let's add a hi-hat real quick. Where you at, hi-hat? So we'll go through. Sometimes with hi-hats too, like I can't tell just hearing a hit, so I'll lay down a groove and then lay down a little groove. And then I'll put the hi-hat in. Off time. Weird. Obviously don't like that hi-hat, but I'm just putting in the pattern real quick so that I can then change the sound as it goes and see, like, cool, that's what the hi-hat's gonna sound like. Turn the hi-hat down. Cool, like that hi-hat. I'm gonna move it down here. I'm gonna move it so that I can just keep it the same loop and it'll trigger the same thing. And I don't have to change my shit. What is that, 21? So, a couple hi-hat sounds loaded in, and then I'll get my crashes and all that stuff. So I'm like, cool, now I have a palette. So now I can open things up and get in there and start messing around. And then maybe I'll move on to bass and I'll be like, well, how strong of a bass do I want for Drew Boogie? You know, like, is it, what are we doing? Are you going clean on the bass? Like, clean might be cool. You know, clean basses and then have something else that dirties it up. I don't know. You know, like, what do we got? So we got this super clean bass here. I don't know if you can hear that, but so clean bass is cool. So maybe I'll, I'm like, okay, cool. So we'll do clean basses, but, um, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna? And then I do a lot of writing down stuff. I keep the notebook. Me, always notebooks. But and I try to figure it out. I try to go through and I try to say, like, what is this gonna be? What's gonna make this album unique? What's gonna make it Drew Boogie? A lot of different factors that go into that. Drew's Dominican, so it's like, how much sort of does any of that influence what we're doing? He's from the Bronx. Does the Bronx influence what we're doing? Does do we do marching band, military marching band type sounds? Do we do like big triumphant, just won the battle, trombones and trumpets and all that stuff? Do we, if we do we do like awesome synth ones, or do we do live trumpet? What's the vibe? So all that thought goes into like the beginning of the project and what the sound's gonna be. So it's my process. It helps me out a lot. It helps me out tremendously, so everything doesn't just sound like a different song and a different album. Well, obviously you want them to sound like different songs, but so everything doesn't sound like they come from different artists. So that's my role. I'll be posting more stuff along the way as it all unravels.